Hello and welcome back to the Motorhome Review channel. Today I'm at Erwinheimer Centre Travel World in Stafford and I'm here to review this. This is the Laika ECOVIP Titanio L3019. Now Laika is an Italian manufacturer, a premium brand, and ECOVIP is mid-range in their lineup. Titanio is a special edition for the 2026 season. The difference being to the standard model is the grey cab and the silver sides, and you all know I do like a silver motorhome, and I'm keen to dive in and show you this because I think internally it's got a beautiful finish. So what do we need to know? There's actually 4 different layouts in the semi-integrated range. The 3019 is the single bed layout that we're looking at today. The range actually starts at £88,000. This model starts at £89,000, but here at Travel World there's a few extras on it and it's just under £106,000. In this review I'm going to point out certain features that are added and extras you can add yourselves. So what do we need to know? So the Laika, this one is on the Fiat Ducato. It has the 2.2 litre diesel engine, 140 horsepower as standard and manual transmission. Now you can opt for the 180 horsepower and the automatic transmission as well. So you've got 2 choices there, whether you want to up your horsepower or go for automatic over manual. In terms of size, so this motorhome, I think it's at quite a good size point. It's 6 metres and 99 centimetres long. It's 2 metres and 25 centimetres wide, and it's 2 metres and 99 centimetres in height. Let's talk about weight. So, as standard, you can have this motorhome in the 3.5 tonne variant, 3,500 kilos. So you can drive it on your car licence. If you want a little bit more payload, you can opt for the 3,650 or 3.65 tonne variant, and that'll give you obviously another 150 kilos on the payload. If you go for the 3.5 tonne, you're going to get a payload of around 450 kilos, but obviously be careful of the extras that you add. If that's not enough for you, you can always opt for the Fiat heavyweight chassis and go for it in the 4.4 tonne gross vehicle weight. So you'll have loads of payload, but obviously you are going to need the C1 category on your licence for that. In terms of berths, it comes standard as a 2-berth, or you can opt for a 4-berth or 5-berth, and it comes with 4 travel seats as standard, or you can opt for 5. So those are our facts and figures. Let's take a closer look. So at the front we have the cab. We can see the Laika badge there at the front and this grey finish in the paintwork. So this paintwork is standard on the Titanio model. Then we have the semi-integrated styling front on the cab there. One thing you'll notice that I always like is here, Laika have the Italian flag. They're very proud of obviously Italian heritage, they're very passionate. You will also get a standard, the Fiat LED headlights, and you will also get the cornering lamps as well. We'll make our way down the offside. Now because this is a European manufacturer, we're going to find our habitation door here as well. You'll see the Fiat alloy wheels up on the roof. This one has been spec'd with a 120 watt solar panel, so that's an optional extra. And then we see the grey of the cab merging into the silver sides of Titanio, and I like the finish. And then we see the standard black Laika decals or graphics. These coming down, the black and the silver and the Laika graphic there as well. Another optional extra that we can see running along the roof is the wind out awning. This one here by Thule, a manual wind out. Let's start here on the offside at the front. So there's quite a good number of storage compartments on the Laika. Let me open this locker for us first of all. So what you'll see here, we have got a little light and then a shelf. We can actually access this from inside, so we'll see that when we go in. You can lift this shelf and you've got some storage here. Now coming along, you then have the habitation door. It is a slightly wider habitation door. There is a light above it, and then the electric step. It's a really good width, and again I'll deploy that for us soon. Coming along, a couple of little side windows, and then our toilet cassette point. Here is our electrical hookup point on the offside. and then a garage door. So the Laika 3019 has a really good sized garage. Let me open this up. There is a door on the near side and the off side. So in here, a garage with an incredibly good height. We can see the wooden finish that we'll see inside. There is an LED light strip in here. You will also get a plug socket and our grey waste dumping point. I'll talk more about heating once we go around the other side, but the garage does have an air vent for heating and has several tie down points as well for securing your equipment. I'll close this up and lock that. Now coming around the rear, Laika often do a nice rear end. Let's start up at the top. So we have a 2-camera rear view camera and high level brake light. Coming down, the Laika name and the big logo again. The back end silver as well, like the sides, the Laika badge, and then these nice LED lights as well on each side. So you have got a nice rear end here on the Laika. Down the near side we have the second garage door, a number of windows running down, and then under here we have our fresh water filler. On board you're going to get a 120 litre fresh water tank and a 100 litre grey waste tank. Next to it there is a gas barbecue point. It is on the near side, so if you are wanting to cook, you're going to be on the other side of your motorhome. So that's a little bit strange for me, just something I want to point out. Then the vents for the tower fridge and freezer. We do have an external shower point that's been added. And then in here we find our gas locker. In here you'll be able to store 2 11-kilo gas bottles, so plenty of room in there. And then we come to our heating vent. Now this is where I said I'll tell you more about that. As standard, you're going to get the 6 kilowatt Truma air-blown heating that will run on gas. There's an option to have the Truma 6E, which will run on gas and electric, or you can add the diesel, so you can have it to run on diesel or diesel and electric. If you don't want air-blown heating, you can add ALDE heating. So in terms of what's available, you literally can add all the heating systems that most people would choose to the motorhome. You can also add lithium batteries as well if you want to spec those. Now last but not least, we've got more storage. So I'll just lift this one up. Now you'll notice another nice touch, there's a catch here and a catch here. So you can pin that back and you'll see under here a storage locker just there on the near side. And then dropping that down, we'll continue onto the near side. We have our diesel filling point, a 60 litre diesel tank. Door here into our passenger side. Although it's an Italian manufacturer, these are all right-hand drive models. Right, that's the exterior. Let's dive inside and I'm going to show you inside. Let's make a start up here in the cab area. The captain's chairs do both swivel round. I've just turned this one for now. I love the leather finish. You can see here this beautiful white cream leather finish, the Laika logo embossed on there, and a good thing to see is that the armrests are finished in the same material. There's also some trim up here. This is a padded leather feel, so a nice touch because we are at a good price point here, £106,000. We want to feel a luxurious finish. Now this one I did mention has the optional automatic transmission. We can see our Pioneer screen there, our infotainment system, multifunctional steering wheel, and this one has a number of Fiat safety features as well and the digital dash. There is a blind in the windscreen and on the sides for privacy, and then as we make our way up there's the large sunroof here. Now that will open. There is a blind as well that you can pull down to block out bright sunlight and again for privacy. Now turning round into our lounge area. So the 3019 layout, we have this L-shaped seating area here. This one has the 4 travel seats, so you will get 2 seat belts there as well as the 2 at the front. So you have this seating area, and then over on the off side we have a small bench seat as well, so that's nice to relax on. When it comes to dining, there is a fixed table. This has the solid leg that we can see, and if I just stand up, I'll open the table out for us. It's a really big table. It does move as well, so you can slide it around. So if you've got a number of people coming to join you, you can all get round the table. When you don't need it, obviously just fold it over. Now, one thing I do like is the floor is all one level. It's a concrete effect finish, and it flows from cab to rear. Up here you will see cabinets for storage. These have the push and lift mechanism that Laika use. You can see there it folds up nicely. It's quite a clever little folding system, that. You'll have one on the near side and one on the off side. There is additional lighting above me and down the sides. You do get some flicker when filming in Laika, so we have had to turn some of the lighting off, but plenty of beautiful lighting. And then we have storage space here on the off side. Good depth of the cupboard, as you can see, and the dark wood trim is going all the way through there into the cupboard space. Coming down, a small window. Now you do get this net over it, and then the sideboards around as a surround, and then a fly screen and a blind. It's worth pointing out that a lot of the European motorhome manufacturers use the plastic finish blind, so don't be surprised or put off by that. You'll find that generally considered normal across European manufacturers. Onto the near side, again we have another good sized window with net, that again opening for ventilation. And then lifting the cupboards, I'll move down and show you into these as we go. Now this one here has a really good height to it, no shelf. This one here does have the shelf. They are quite high up to reach, so just consider that. I'll close those, and then running under here we have more strip lighting and the light switches. As I travel across the ceiling, we have a sunroof fitted here, again with lighting each side, and then we get over to the off side. So on the off side, here's the good sized door that I mentioned when we were outside. You will get the fly screen, there's the button for the electric step, lighting controls, there's a bin here situated within the door, and then the control panel. So this is for the Truma air-blown heating and the hot water, and this is the control panel for the Laika itself, water, battery and other functions on there. Coming along, so this one is fitted with the television, so you can see how that would be situated if you were to opt for this or purchase your own and supply to put there. Handle for as you come in through the door, and then I'm just going to bob down here and show you this. So when we were outside, there was a locker that I said you could access, and there it is. So that is an internal shoe locker, but you can access it from outside as well. So if you arrive back with muddy boots, bob them in there, and then you'll be able to get those out. So that's our lounge area. I'm going to start making my way now into the kitchen. So the kitchen on the near side. Now, one thing I do like is you do have this large partition here, and that obviously separates the furniture from the kitchen. The finish on here is a lighter wood on the top, and then it runs all the way down. In terms of worktop space, I think this is a compromise. And I say that because you have actually got two sinks. So you have your main sink here, and then a second sink at the back. I think this is probably quite Italian, maybe for washing salad and vegetables and what have you, but there's two sinks, you get the two sink covers. I think most people will only be using one, and so you'd have that one covered. But they are a nice circular sink with good depth and a nice solid chrome tap as well. So your worktop space is limited to this area. What I would suggest is you use the table in the lounge as additional space. Now, as we work our way around, up here there is a plug, so you can obviously use a kettle or a coffee machine there, lighting and an extractor fan. There is an overhead locker which is here, so you have a large open space there, and then the shelf in this one. Good amount of space and nice solid clasps running up there. These are a matte white finish, and it works well, I do think, with the wood. I like the wood, it's a nice warm and classy feeling. Coming down, We've got a metal splashback. Again, the window opens and you'll have a blind and a fly screen. And then we have our Thetford appliance. Now under here, you will get 3 gas burners. Very unusual in Europe to get an electric hot plate. It would just be gas. So we have 3 of those there. And then coming down, we have a dual gas oven and grill. So that appliance there. Situated under there, if I just pop that, you'll see the mechanism that works there. Open that, and there is a little bit of storage there. And to the side next to it, this is a nice feature. If I slide this out, we have a storage rack, and you can see the top and the bottom of that. That's really nice. I'll close that up. Make sure when you've closed it, you obviously lock your bits in place. Then a couple of hooks here for various bits. Just don't set fire to them when you've got the gas hob going. It's probably something I'd do. Next we have our tower fridge freezer and some further storage. So if I just open this locker here, you'll see a really good storage cupboard up there, nice size. So storage is certainly not an issue on this Laika. And then the Thetford tower fridge and freezer. Opening this up, this is about 142 litre capacity. You'll have a freezer compartment at the top, shelving. This is excellent for when you're on your travels for some time. You can really fill that up. And they finished it as well with the silver front as well, just to match different other parts of the motorhome. Right, let's come across and we'll just do the washroom and then we'll go back into the bedroom space. Now, what I do like is when you're ready to use the washroom or the bathroom, this door has a multi-purpose. So let me just demonstrate that. So instead of a privacy screen, you actually have a solid privacy door, and that's then going to separate the 2 areas. The only thing is on a night, if you're back here in bed and you've closed that, people are going to see you in there. So although it is a good thing to have a solid door, you have just got to decide how you're going to use that, and especially if you opt for the 4 or 5 berth model. Right, let me close this across and we'll talk about this washroom. So this is an all-in-one. Now for some people that can be a compromise. I've used both, and it just depends. If you shower a lot on board, it might be that you want separate. If you don't, it probably isn't that much of an issue. So let's talk about the door. First of all, you can see somewhere to hang your towels across here. When you are using the shower space, obviously you are going to be closing the door, but I'll just step in for now. We can see there is a lip for stepping in, and that's going to take us into this floor space. Now, I'm in. The actual headroom in this Laika is 2 metres and 5 centimetres. It is going to be reduced here in the shower because obviously I've stepped up and there's a little bit of intrusion as well above me. So otherwise in the rest of the Laika you've got 2 metres and 5. Now in here we see the wood effect continuing. Again, that's great. I don't just want white walls. So let's make a start here. We have a mirrored cabinet. If I just push this and open this one first of all, you'll see space in there for toiletries. Now, unfortunately, there is no bars on there to hold your toiletries back, which is something I would have liked, but we have got a mirrored cabinet there. And then opening this one, you can see the same as well. We've got the shelving, but no bars to hold the toiletries back, but nice wooden finish. And there is an LED light up there and the light there. There's also above me another hook here, this bar for hanging towels, and there is a sunroof which will open for ventilation. Moving along, now you do have a window in the toilet. I always think I'd prefer if that was frosted, because if you're in a rush to go to the loo, you're going to have to make sure you've closed your blind before you go. And to be fair, 9 times out of 10, I think you're going to have that blind closed in any case. But that then leads on to the Thetford swivel toilet. As I always say, just make sure when you sat on the loo, you can close your door. And then we move along. We have got a really good size mirror here like this, and then a nice size sink. You've got places around it to put your toiletries. The tap is chrome as well. Then we have our toothbrush holder. I'll step this side now. And a soap dispenser. They've also got Laika embossed just on top of that tap, which is a nice finish. And there seems to be a reasonable amount of room around the sink. Again, check that you can close the door. I'm just going to sit down here a second, give this a push and open this. Now in here we have a little bit more storage, and we've also got a toilet roll holder. Now the only thing I want to mention about that is to get to your toilet roll, you are going to have to open the cupboard door and use it there. I would have liked to have seen a letterbox style there maybe, so you can feed it through so you're not having to touch your cupboard while using the facilities, just from a hygiene point of view maybe. Right, let's move on to the shower next. So we can already see that the shower head is positioned here. It's got the chrome finish to it and your tap here. You do get a shower screen, so when you've closed your door, draw this across. I'll show you how this operates in just 1 second. Down here you'll see there is the wood board. I believe this potentially is an optional extra on this one at Travel World. And then you've got your plug holes. There's also some little spaces just on the side here for shower gels maybe. It's a little bit tricky to get your hands in, so I'm not sure how practical that'll be. When you want to use your shower, you'll see there's a tab here, a plastic tab. What we're going to do is we're going to push this in like that and then slide this across. Now I'm just going to step out as I slide, and you can see that in motion. So this is going to slide over our toilet. If I just do that nice and slowly and come to a rest there. That now exposes a good size shower cubicle. Again, I'm going to step in now. So if I step in here, you can see the amount of space that is around me, the shower here, the headroom, we've got the light there, this would pull across, the door would be closed. So this is a good size shower. Right, when you've had your shower, obviously you need to dry yourself off in there and then close this across. There we go. And then push it back in place and it's locked. So that is our all-in-one washroom. Good space, nice finish to it, just I would have preferred the frosted window perhaps, and a different style of toilet roll holder. Right, let me close that up. Now let's head back into the bedroom. Now, as I already mentioned, this model is the 2-berth. If you want it in 4-berth, you can opt for an electric drop-down bed, which will be in the lounge area. So that would be above the lounge, and that is a double bed, 190 centimetres by 140 centimetres. So that's an option for 4-berth. If you want the 5-berth, there's an option to convert the lounge as well into another berth. So those are your berth options. But the 3019 layout is longitudinal or single beds. These are a good size. Now there is a step which I'll show you in a minute, but for now I'm just going to jump up like this, because if I deploy the step it will get in the way of the other things I want to show you, so we'll come to that in a minute. But back here, the longitudinal beds with memory foam mattresses. Lengthwise 197 centimetres long by 82 centimetres wide. And here we have 192 centimetres by 82 centimetres wide. If you want, you can make this into a large double bed, so you've got extra room to spread out and sleep together as such. So that's our longitudinal beds. At the back we have the white leather headboard matching the fabric that we saw up at the front. Nice wood panelling back here. And then on each side, if you can see back there, we have the lighting and these little LED lighters as well. Then we have these little compartments here, again with the cream leather or white cream leather finish, and then storage. We'll just move across here. Now, if I open these up, we've got the strong clasps, the white finish and the wood running through the back. The overhead lockers continue all the way around. If I just push these ones, and we can see in here, and then same there as well. So the overhead lockers running all the way around. In this corner here on the off side, you can just make out there a television point. So if you want to watch television back here in the bedroom, you can do that. Right, let me close that. You would, I'd imagine, affix a bracket onto there. You'll also have the cupboards here on the near side, and then the windows. So you get the nets, the little curtain bits at the end, I'll call them, a black pole, and if I just open this up, you can see this is the blind. Now this is the plastic that I spoke about, and you can see there the fly screen. You can obviously pull it all the way up or all the way down. So little windows on each side. Above me there is quite a good sized sunroof. This will open, again a blind and a fly screen. There's no aircon unit fitted to this one at Travel World. That would be an option if you wanted to fit that. Right, let me talk about these steps as I dive down. So first of all, when you are wanting to use this as storage, you will have a really good amount of storage under this step here. When you want to use the lower step, all you'll do, you can see just under there, I'm going to put my hand in there, you slide this out. There we go. So this slides out. So now you can go up the staircase like that. Okay, so you don't need to jump up like I did originally. There is further storage under this step as well. The reason I did it the way I did is because once this is out, you cannot access the wardrobes, as you can see here. So what you need to do, there's two plastic clasps, we need to push those in. So down there, and that will slide and lock away. So that is now put away and we can access our wardrobe space. So under the offside bed, there is two shelves, storage, and a rail as well for the wardrobe, so you can hang clothes and bits and pieces there. And then in this side, this bank is a little bit different. That's going to slide out and give you three shelves. I quite like this option because I'm not always bothered for hanging things up. That's just me personally, other people do. So I quite like that I can stack my clothes on here. When you finish with it, slide it back and these push down. Also back here is a further slide out. So if I get that out for you and you can go and take a look. So you've got another slide out there. So it's a good use of the space in the bedroom for storage, and it's in the nice dark wood finish again. Let me close that up. Right, so let's just have a very quick summary about that. So we have the longitudinal beds, 197 centimetres long, 192 centimetres long, 82 centimetres wide. Tower fridge and freezer, excellent storage in the kitchen, but a little bit limited on worktop space. However, we have got the gas oven, grill and hob. The all-in-one washroom, that is a good size, just those couple of issues that personally I mentioned about the window and the toilet roll. The lounge, now this is nice. This is a great area for relaxation. I love the leather finish here, and I do personally like the dark wood and then the contrast again with the white. I feel this is quite a light and bright motorhome despite that darker wood. Lovely finish on the cab as well. Sunroof for that additional light, and if you want the drop down bed, you can fit that. Here we have the television pack. Up on the roof, this one here at Travel World has had the solar panel added as well. So starting from 88,000 for the actual ECOVIP Titanio range, 89 for this one. This one at Travel World, obviously quite a few extras added, just under 106,000, but it's a lovely looking motorhome. Is it for you? Let me know in the comments, obviously, and any feedback that you have. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a look around at this special edition for 2026. I've enjoyed showing it, that's for sure. I will put a link in the description to Erwinheimer Centre Travel World so you can check out all the Laika motorhomes and the others that they do have here in stock. And I'll also put a link to the Laika website, so again you can explore the full Laika range. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.